Alright, so 2D now. Find two positive numbers that satisfy the given requirements. The product is 147, and the sum of the first number plus 3 times the second number is the minimum. We'll just go on and do that. Find two positive numbers. So the first one, the product. So let's take the numbers to be x and y, right? Okay. So the sum of the product is 147. So xy, which is the product, is 147. Okay. That's for the first part. The sum of the first number, let's say the first number is x. The sum of the first number plus 3 times the second number is a minimum. Take note of that. The sum of the first number plus 3 times the second number is a minimum. So I have to find the positive numbers. I have to find these two numbers. Okay. So now you've seen the point. So why it is a minimum, that is the equation you're going to focus on with differentiation, right? So the sum is a minimum. Now what do we do here for us to handle it? So I have to come up with an expression that will make the other formula, where there's a constant to be a subject. You can make, in this case, x subject. So I have 147 over y. Plugging in the other equation, where there's x, we have 147 over y plus 3y. So I have to now determine the minimum value there of our expression. The equation we have, y can be expressed in terms of a negative since it's on the denominator. So let's just go on and differentiate this equation. We can call it the sum, so that when you differentiate we can say we have ds dy, right? Differentiating negative 1 times that's going to be negative 147, reduce the power by 1, it will be y to the power negative 2. Okay, and then that's going to be a 3 when you differentiate. This can be expressed as 3 minus, now 147, the y can go on the bottom, so it just becomes a positive value. So I have 3 minus 147 over y squared. So we've differentiated. Now at the point where the derivative is equal to 0 is a maximum point or a minimum point. Okay, let's see. This is, well, let's see what we're going to expect. So if you get that to 0, 3 minus 147 over y squared equal to 0. So you have 3 is equal to 147 over y squared. So you end up with 3y squared is equal to 147. So the 147 we have divided by 3, it's a 49. So on the left we have y squared is equal to 49. So if you try to find the value of y, it will be plus or minus 7, right? So there we are. Now remember our question was saying we're interested in only the positive numbers. So we're only interested in positive 7 as our y value. So y is equal to 7. For us to find the other value, which is x, get back to this point, substitute. Our x is equal to 147 divided by the 7. What do you expect? 147 divided by the 7, 21. So these are the two positive numbers. that should be able to satisfy the given requirements. Let's look at the other part. The sum of a first number, let's call it x as well, cubed, the sum of a first number cubed to the power 3, and the second number is 500. The product is the maximum. Pay attention to this question. The sum of the first number cubed and the second number is 500. The product is maximum. So the product is, the two numbers are x and y. So maximum. So don't even give yourself a lot of pressure. In this case, it's easier to make y a subject. So y is equal to 500 minus x to the power 3. It's not always supposed to make y or x a subject. Look at what's easier to do. Plug in the other equation, our y. You have 500 minus x to the power 3. So we can still call that the sum. But our sum is equal to negative x to the power 4 plus 500x, right? That's our sum. You can differentiate that. Okay? In fact, that's a product, not a sum. Let's just get the product. The product is the maximum. So our dp dx, that's differentiating. We're going to have negative 4x to the power 3 plus 500. That's what we have there. What are we trying to do? We're trying to determine the point where the product is a maximum. Where the product is a maximum. Equate it to 0. Negative 4x to the power 3 is equal to negative 500. Becomes positive, divided by the 4. 500 divided by 2 is 250, by 2, 125. What number can you multiply 3 times to give you 25? That's what a cube root is. So that should be a 5 there. So x is possibly a 5. So we've got a value there, 5. You can find the y value. Remember, we're only interested in the positive values, right? So in fact here it's only one value because it's a cube root. So third root. So our y value, we said our y is equal to 500 minus x to the power 3. So 500 minus our 125, that gives us 375. So we found the two values x and y for this question.